got trauma just like me. His PTSD. Got
Hello, my friends. How are you? And welcome back to PTSD, Parents Trying to Stop Dysfunction. I am Fun Coach Tamika here. Tonight, we will be discussing how narcissistic parents cause a destabilized life and what to do about it. So, let's get into it. All right. So, as always, let me start with a disclaimer. I am not now, nor have I ever been a mental health professional, therapist, psychologist, etc. I am merely sharing information based on my research and self awareness. All right? Okie dokie. So, listen, make sure you hit like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment and let me know where you are tonight. And are you looking forward to the holidays coming up? Just saying. All right. So even though this is called talk therapy, it's a way for us to talk through some of the things, which is like therapy for the soul, if you will. And that's because I am someone who is obsessed with human behavior. And I mean obsessed. Like I literally spend every moment of my available time obsessing about how to transform behaviors because I want to help parents identify unmet needs in their children so that they can raise the best little humans on the planet. That is why I am the fun coach, because fun is an acronym for finding unmet needs. All right, let me cut it out. Okay, so let's get into it now. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all are dropping something in the comment, let me know. Go ahead and drop it in there. I am looking in the comment section as I can. However, we about to get into this tonight. And we're gonna get started with, first of all, I've said it often, and I'll say it again. Proverbs is my favorite book of the Bible, mostly because there's so much wisdom there, right? And the verses we're gonna talk about tonight, it was just like, yeah, let's get into it. All right, so Proverbs, we're gonna start with 6 and 16. So it says, these 6 things does the Lord hate, yet 7 are an abomination to him. Whew. Verse number 17 go on to say, a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. Verse 18, and heart that deviseth wicked imagination, feet that be swift in running to mischief. Verse 19, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among the brethren. Oh boy. So, okay, so let's just dive into the 7 things that he actually said here. So in these verses, there were 7 things. Number 1 was a proud look. Number 2 was a lying tongue. Number 3, hands that shed innocent blood. 4 was a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, right? 5 were feet that are quick to mischief. 6, a false witness that speaketh lies. And 7, he that soweth discord between the family. Okay, so when you think about a narcissist, what comes to mind? Right? Let's talk about that. So for me, this is what I said when I thought thought about a narcissist and what comes to mind. Someone who's arrogant, lies to and on you, constantly manipulates you and gaslights. I sound like I'm in a poetry slam, don't it? Constantly manipulate and always starting drama, aka the smear campaigns. You have not felt wrath until a narcissist has opened and launched an active smear campaign against you. Okay. So, literally, everything on the list of things that God hates is what a narcissist is. That's kind of what I summed up. Now, let's talk about the effect that it has on you when you're raised by one. So, I'm going to talk about myself because that's all I can talk about, right? It's me. For me, being raised by a narcissistic persons, one thing that I realize is that you don't inherit goodness, kindness. You inherit trauma, anxiety, depression, people pleasing, codependency, um, struggling with identity of self, um, constantly being triggered by feelings of hopelessness, even when you're successful, man. Oh my goodness. Even when you're successful. Uh, I got to talk about that really quick. So I remember when the last thing that I remember where I was struggling with this was when I became number one bestseller for my book. Which, by the way, let me show y'all in case you haven't seen it lately. This is it. So, when I became number one bestseller for my book, let me tell you how much I struggled. I struggled that day. I couldn't even sleep that night. And it wasn't because I was excited, like, oh my God, I finally reached my goal. I was overwhelmed because I was just like, oh my God, what's going to happen now? Like I couldn't even enjoy it, right? I couldn't even enjoy the feelings because I was constantly feeling helpless. And so here it is. I'm trying to celebrate something and I couldn't celebrate it, right? So I struggled with the hopelessness even when I was successful, right? I was struggling with beliefs when struggling with hurtful and misguided beliefs about myself and constantly recycling trauma. Now, the reason why I say like this destabilizes your life is because going through all of those things, I was constantly self-sabotaging myself and my success. Because when I would achieve a goal that I had, finally worked towards, I would self-sabotage by going into panic mode, like for real, like full-fledged panic mode. Like, okay, I got the thing. What am I supposed to do with it? Right? So the reason why I wrote this book is because I wanted to help parents. Because if you have been raised by a narcissistic parent, it destabilizes your life and you will pass it down to your children, no matter how well intentioned you are, right? That's the reason why this channel is PTSD, Parents Trying to Stop Dysfunction. That's why we here, that's why we here. So I gotta tell y'all, hold on, let me look at, I think I see something in the chat. Oh, I don't think it was. Okay. So let me tell y'all something that broke my heart. Okay. Um, I started trauma therapy about 7 years ago. And then I suggested that my oldest daughter go to therapy. So she went maybe like a couple years after I started going. And something that she said broke my heart because I came to her. I was just like, talk to me. How was your experience of me as a parent when you were younger? And she was like, well, I was like, you could tell me for real. I'm gonna be all right. So I don't think I was ready for what she said though. She said, Mom, I love you, but I didn't feel loved by you when I was younger. Oh, my heart, y'all, my heart. I was like, so as I was bracing myself because I knew it wasn't about me when she was telling me these things, I had to really show up for her. I was bracing myself. And so I dug deeper and I said, can you tell me more about that? What do you mean by that? And she said, well, you were there, but you weren't there. So what she was saying was physically I was there because that was something that was very important to me. I felt like my mother wasn't there for me, like physically she wasn't there. So I wanted to physically be there for my children. So I was always there, but I wasn't there, you know, and um and I was bracing myself and listening to her and everything. And after the conversation and stuff like that, I cried and I went to my therapist and I was like, oh my God, let me tell you what you said to me. And had a full-fledged meltdown because I couldn't believe that I had inflicted the same harm on my child. And I never wanted to do that, right? So this is one of the reasons why I always tell parents that it happens. If you have been raised like this, you're going to spill it on to your children no matter what, even if you don't want to. So tonight I want to talk about, like, 3 is my favorite number. So I want to talk about the 3 things that work for me after, just going through all of that trauma and destabilization of my life. So the first thing that I would say, and I briefly just told y'all about this anyway, therapy works. It really does, right? And so, like, I always tell people, I always point people in the direction of therapists. And I have tons of friends who are therapists. So reach out to me if you're looking for somebody. I got you. Therapy works. Just do like I did. Go to therapy first so that you can kind of like build up some stuff and just really work through some stuff yourself so that you can show up. Remember, like I was telling you about how my daughter came to me and it was very, very hard to hear what she had to say. But, because of my therapist and going through the process, I was able to just really be there and not be all like, I did the best I could, like, yeah, I did the best I could and I heard you, right? And so here's what I want to do moving forward. So that's the first thing. The second thing is building a strong support system. So I'll say this. I wish I knew that I needed a strong support system because let me tell y'all something. If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be here right now because I barely made it out. Barely made it out because I didn't build a strong support system. I didn't have people to lean on when things got really, really, really hard for me. So build a strong support system, people that can actually show up and hold space for you, that are not going to just diminish or say, it's going to be all right. No, you need somebody who's going to be able to just say, hey, do you have space to hold for me? And then they'll be there, right? Just, you don't have to say anything, just be here. And finally, consider putting your children in therapy because they're going to need to work through some things that has happened that you may not even have accounted for. You may not want it to happen, but it happened. So putting your children in therapy, making sure that everybody has a support system, everybody can talk and be heard, because that is something that's huge and important. Like right now, me and my children, we do a monthly family values meeting where we sit and we talk about our core family values and what that means and how we showing up and how we can, you know, improve. Okay. But I wouldn't have known how to do any of that had I not gone through therapy to learn effective communication skills. Okay. All right. Well, hope this was helpful. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Drop a comment below. Let me know what other topic you want to chat about next time. And until the next time, I'll see you in my next video. Take care now.